Jim Irsay passed away in his sleep on May 21st, and the official cause of death hasn't been released. But after a life marked by personal battles, passion, and philanthropy, many are reflecting on the shape of his heart, and how much love it held. He wasn't just the Indianapolis Colts owner. He was a man who understood struggle, who turned pain into purpose, who dared to be vulnerable in a world that rarely rewards it. His death at 65 closed a chapter of a life lived fully, loudly, painfully, and generously. As the news broke, tributes poured in from around the NFL and beyond. But what echoed loudest was his fight to kick the stigma. The mental health campaign he spearheaded became his redemption song. Launched in 2021, it raised $31 million to confront addiction and mental illness, funding nonprofits and public awareness campaigns. It was more than charity, it was his truth. Jim knew the depths. He'd been there, at least 15 stints in rehab. He wrestled with alcoholism, battled. Rest easy, Jim. Your heart was more than strong enough. You gave more than money. You gave time, vulnerability, honesty, in an arena where power usually hides behind image. You didn't pretend to be perfect, and that, in the end, is what made you unforgettable. You were a paradox in a tailored suit, a billionaire who didn't act untouchable, a rock and roll soul in a boardroom world, a football executive who understood feelings and flaws better than most. You spoke through music, through handwritten lyrics, worn guitars, and ancient letters. You reminded people that history is living, that pain is transformative, and that art, like football, can move people. That it's okay to not be okay. In every note your band played, in every rare piece of memorabilia you saved, in every tweet sent from the heart, you were reaching for connection. And you found it. The NFL may move on, as it always does. Teams will play, players will come and go. But something changed with you, Jim. You made owners feel a little more human. You made fans feel like family. You showed that leadership isn't about being invincible, it's about being real. Your daughters now carry the torch. You prepared them not just with inheritance, but with example, of compassion, curiosity, and conviction. To the fans, you were more than a name on a luxury suite. You were the guy handing out cash at camp, the surprise behind a trivia giveaway, the smile in a Colts hoodie singing with a Stratocaster. You brought joy. You brought access. You brought soul. To the recovery community, you were a voice, raw, unfiltered, and needed. You brought legitimacy to the conversation. You forced people to see addiction not as a shameful secret, but as a battle worth fighting in the open. To players and coaches, you weren't just a boss. You were a lifeline, a mentor, a friend. That's why they cried when they spoke of you. That's why your presence in the locker room meant something. There will be memorials, tributes, maybe even statues. But the real legacy you leave behind isn't made of bronze or banners. It's made of changed lives. It's built on kindness given without cameras, checks written without headlines, second chances offered quietly. You were complex. You were flawed. You were brilliant. You were real. And above all, you were loved. Goodbye, Jim Irsay. The game goes on, but the heart of it, the soul you gave, will echo far longer than the final whistle. Rest in peace.